Hello, Libra. Welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your Law of Attraction Tarot and Oracle card readings. There is a Law of Attraction message linked in the description box if you are interested. We are going to have both a money and a love reading. We'll start off with the money reading today. Well, you have the card of birth. I feel like this rarely comes out, but I love it. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility, all right? So when opportunity knocks, let's open that door up wide. I feel like you're going to have, whether it's some intuitive hit and you say, you know what, I think I'm going to look into this a little more. Whether it's something you've been looking for already, like you're looking to move or you're looking for a job. But the birth of great ideas. So let's see what the tarot can tell you. Okay, you have here the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, yes, and the Sun. That is fantastic energy. King of Swords is in the advice, but the Sun is in the outcome. So the Eight of Cups here, if you had to move on from something, if there was a shift and you weren't particularly thrilled about it, but you knew you had to move on, the Eight of Cups is that hero's journey. He's cloaked in the red robe of desire. You have a new cycle, and I feel like somebody here, you trusted your intuition to know this is shifting. This is not what it once was. If it's a place where you've lived and you said, you know, it's not the place, I've fallen out of love with my house or with this area, or I did what I needed to do. I finished out my career here, and now it's time for me to move on. I feel like this is all about that, but it comes with it, right on the heels of it, the Ace of Pentacles and the Sun, which is such phenomenal energy. So I feel like once you emotionally kind of decided, this is something I'm going to move on from, that Ace of Pentacles, talk about opportunity knocking, talk about being presented with a win. The Ace of Pentacles, I mean, look at the scale of that pentacle. And with the sunflowers and the sun, they're trying to tell you that you have a match coming in. So if it's a housing situation where you've just decided, you know what, this has been a great run, but it's time to go on, that Ace of Pentacles brings in the right situation for you. It's also resources coming in and just a little dash of luck, or what feels like luck. We know that it's really your alignment where you have perfect timing, where people seem to come in and connect with you if you need resources on anything in terms of money. And so with this, if it's housing, it's for the long term where you make a shift and it really is the right fit for you. I would say too, if you're an entrepreneur or you're looking even for a side hustle, this fits you perfectly. It's the right amount of money, the time, the flexibility. It's, you know, not one of those things where you're going to sit down and calculate and realize it's barely paying anything. I feel like you have something here that's substantial. This is lucrative. We love the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are initiations, but Pentacles rule money and manifesting. So I would say too, pay attention to your great ideas. Those thoughts become things. With the energy of the Sun, there's not a more happy, joyful card in the deck. This is huge gains. It is really a time of freedom, liberation. But in terms of money, it's really knowing what's a match and what's not. It's kind of like when you call somewhere on the phone and you can tell the customer service person can either help you or not immediately. You know, when you do that and you go, I knew I shouldn't have spent my time trying to explain this to them. They weren't going to understand it. Or you thought, but they're astute. They're going to be able to get this. I feel like you're going to be able to capture the one. This is where you connect with the astute one. And the ones that aren't for you, you'll know it right away and you won't waste your time. That's what I feel. You have somebody coming in that will work perfectly, or a situation that works perfectly. If it's something too where you're juggling a family and you say, I need to have some flexibility or some ability to work from home, I feel like they'll provide that. If you're starting something on your own, like a business, you're going to be not only tenacious and savvy, but making real gains, okay? Because it's neat to have nice qualities, but it's like we want to see the bank account rise. Now, this is in your advice. It's very no nonsense. It's very logical. So it's using logic and reasoning and not lulling yourself into a sense of hope and just feeling like I'm just going to hope and keep my fingers crossed. This is also cutting out anything that doesn't serve you. So if you have little things hanging on your wallet, Okay, you have services. I got calls from 2 different people I've cut off today, they called, wanting me back. And it's like, I don't use the service, so no, I don't want this. And so, of course, I don't even answer it. I probably should block their calls. But I do feel like with this, it's like you make those determinations and you don't look back. You don't regret it. This is the time when you make a decision, you'll say, man, was I right on with that one. So wonderful in terms of money. Now, we're going to do a love reading. I wanted to tell you in February, I'm going to be offering some bonus love readings. Those of you that are interested or in the market, you're going to find those extra readings available on Wednesdays. Okay, we have not today. Okay. Okay, boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. So let's see what happens with the tarot on this one. If you have somebody that you've been wanting to reconcile with, or perhaps you're in a place where you're in a relationship and things haven't been moving forward, or it's one of those things where you have a big decision. They want to talk to you before you've even had your coffee. And you're like, can we wait 10 minutes so we can process this better? So not today. That kills me. Okay, you have here the 8 of Swords. The Star and the Page of Swords. So you do have to be a little careful with communication. You also have the Chariot. You have wish fulfillment. You've got Aquarius and Cancer. That Page of Swords, though, he's not that great at using his sword. So this isn't the outcome, the Chariot's and the advice. I would just be careful with this. He's also the internet spy. And the reason why I caution you is it's miscommunication all over the place. So let's not try to talk about important subjects before we've had our coffee. Let's give each other space if that needs to happen. I'd also tell you, though, if you are single and you just haven't found anybody, you feel like you're imprisoned by wherever you live, your love life. If you travel out of town and you're on a dating app, open that sucker up. Okay, if you're in a different geographic area, don't be afraid to see what's out there. I know somebody, she's 50, going to be 51, I think, and a few years back, never been married. She did that on a work trip, found a guy and married him and moved away, and I'm not kidding. So I just feel like don't keep yourself bound, imprisoned, all that kind of thing. And also, too, if you really have this intention, and I understand when you've got a broken heart and the ego comes into play and says, we've got to reconcile, you've got to get back with that one. Look, there's 8 billion of those out there. There's way more than that one. And so if there's something that hasn't been moving forward, I feel like they're saying it's time to look. It's time to get your mind off of that, because this is a self-imposed prison. And especially if they did something diabolical, and I've seen it, and I don't judge. You know, people will want people back, and while it might not make sense to me, I feel like there's a reason for it, and it's oftentimes a lot of strong feelings about the situation. Now, if you stayed in a relationship, or you did, and you stayed because of guilt, I feel like you're finally walking free of that. I feel like also, too, there's something here that you don't see. So with this, I feel like with this energy of the Star, better times are coming in. You have a wonderful companion here, but I feel like it's about kind of keeping it light and easy for now. This is not the time to strike up the most difficult conversations. I keep kind of nudging about that, and I don't feel like it won't be there, but I feel like especially in the very beginning, there's something about just being kind of light and easy. And it may be friends first. It may be one of those things where you're friends with this person for a while before you realize that there's more than just friendship here. But with the Star, it definitely brings in wish fulfillment, a match, and somebody really solid. I feel like this is an amazing energy, especially with the Chariot. Now, there's something about travel. So if they do live at a distance from you, I do feel like you'll make that work. Now, the Page of Swords, it's not like he's a horrible character, but he does caution because he's not great with that sword. So we just have to be careful with communication. I would say in general with that, don't allow yourself to be pulled into negative texts and things like that. And if you have a pesky ex, I feel like you're going to have to decide. Remember at the beginning there when I mentioned blocking old service providers, maybe that came in for a reason. If you seem like you're getting too many contacts of things you just don't want in your life, because ultimately with the Chariot, they're trying to tell you that you have a brand new beginning, that this is like the first day of the rest of your life. Okay, when the Chariot shows up, it is somebody, a partnership that is so strong. It is heaven sent. It's law of attraction energy. So we want to lean into this kind of energy and know that it's available to you. I think I told you you have Cancer, Aquarius here, but either way with this, and quite a bit of air as well. So with this, I do feel like they're saying there's something better here. So keep moving forward if you haven't found it yet. I love you, Libra, and I'll be back again soon.